Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to Instagram over here, and good morning to Facebook and YouTube over here. I hope everyone is having a great morning so far. Maybe you're just waking up and you're like, it's Tuesday. So I woke up this morning, and which actually kind of leads into what I want to talk about today, which is basically how burnout um, affects our mom guilt, right? And so, um, first things first, if you are watching on the YouTube and you like this video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. If not, after this video is over, make sure you go over to YouTube and hit subscribe and then the little bell. And then that way you get little notifications whenever I upload a new video or go live. Okay. So, burnout and mom guilt. I feel like those are like the two biggest things that I hear all of the time. Is like, or feel even like, especially with the pandemic and everything happening, right? Is I'm so burned out. I have a ton of mom guilt, right? And so um, yesterday, I was like having a lot of mom guilt just because there's a lot going on. It's the end of the school year, it's our last week here where I'm at. So, as teachers, you're like wrapping up the school year, and then just a lot of stuff happening at home and things like that. And so I was like, man, I'm just feeling like a terrible mom, a terrible wife, a terrible person. Like, I can't get my stuff together here today. And I was just kind of spinning, and I was like, man, what is it? Like, I'm not usually like that. What's happening? And I realized it's burnout, right? And for me, most teachers, I feel like it's like that 3 week, 2 week mark of like being that close to the a break or the end of the school year that they start to feel burned out, right? Like, I still have 3 weeks left. I just don't know. For me, I always feel like I go and go and go. And then it's like the last week, I just crash. And that's definitely me this week. I even took yesterday off, and I'm still like, oh, I don't know if I can make it these next 3 days, right? So let's get into it, because I'm sure if those are feelings that I have had, those are probably feelings that you have had at some point or another, um, you know, just as time goes. And it usually happens when we have a lot going on or we're in a more stressful time. So, first, let's talk about what I mean when I say feelings of burnout, right? Like my kind of definition of burnout. And so when I think about burnout, I think about those feelings of having no time and no money, right? It's not just I have a lot of money, but I don't have any time to spend it, or, I have all the time in the world, but I have no money, right? It's kind of like a combination of both, of feeling like I have no time because I'm working nonstop and I'm doing housework and I'm taking care of the kids and I'm, you know, doing all the things, but also like, and I'm not feeling like I'm getting compensated for it, right? I don't have enough money. I'm not making enough money or things like that, right? And so with that, I even like to add in a third piece to burnout, and that's no energy, right? Because you're just going, going, going. The wheels are like, you're like on a hamster wheel, right? And you're just like going, 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 and you're feeling like you're not making the progress, right? I still have no time. I still have no money. And then we have no energy, right? Like it's a chore to like do anything, right? And everything drains you. So, what does that have to do with mom guilt? Well, I feel like burnout is a huge part in those feelings of mom guilt. Like we get feelings of mom guilt when we have burnout, when we're feeling burned out. And I like to think of it, this came to me this morning, of like, you know, it's like in movies, but I know it happened in real life too, of like the girl in high school, right? The mean girl in high school, she's burnout. And she's the one that's like, hey, let's be friends. You're my new best friend, right? And then it's like she really only wants you to be her best friend so that she has somebody to talk down to and like be mean to, right? Make herself feel better. So I feel like burnout is the mean girl that needs a friend to be mean to. And that's, and then mom guilt is like the friend that she talks down to, right? Or like you're the friend, and all the burnout does is tell you about how you're a bad mom or a bad teacher or a bad wife or a bad friend, right? And you're like, I don't, why am I still hanging out with this person? Why? Right? But they have just enough, I don't know, clout, stronghold to keep you there. So, totally lost where I was going with that. Anywho, that's how I kind of see it. And it's like, the burnout just grabbing you and talking down to you, right? So for me, burnout has a lot to do with negative self talk, and mom guilt has a lot to do with negative self talk, right? And so when we feel burned out, when we have no time, we're like, well, you could have did that, but you have no time to spend with your kids, right? I feel so guilty because I didn't read them a bedtime story because I'm so tired, right? I have no energy for their jokes that they think are funny. So they tell me 30 million times the same joke. I have no energy for it, right? I have no time to do the craft project with you, right? And then we feel guilty about it, right? Or, if only I just had a little bit more money, right? I could, we could go do something, right? Or, I could get you into the extracurricular activities or things like that, right? So, burnout, no time, no money, no energy equates to I'm a terrible mom because I don't have enough time to spend with my kids. I'm a terrible mom because I can't afford to get them the things that I would like to be able to get them, right? Give them the lives that we didn't necessarily have. And I have no energy, which me also equates to I have no patience, right? I have no energy. So that means I have no patience, right? Everything has to be right now, right now. And then what happens is then we feel guilty because we snap at our kids, right? I have no energy. I have no patience. I'm snapping at my kids. And it's kind of like we're ourselves a kid, right? Our emotional selves when we're in burnout, right? And then we feel guilty about how we, you know, acted as parents. Not that a lot of times, I'm just going to say this, that when you are feeling in mom guilt, a lot of times that's not even a rational thing. I'm going longer than I wanted to, but this just came to me, right? Like we feel mom guilt, but that's not that's our own negative self-talk. That's not a perception, right? Most of us are doing the best we can, and that shows in the way we raise our kids, right? So I just want to throw that out there that, you know, mom guilt a lot of times is us really just being harder on ourselves than we need to. And again, a lot of that comes when we're feeling burned out, right? So, what do we do about it? Well, we work on the burnout, right? We work on getting more time, having more money, getting more money, right? And with that, having more energy, right? And there's a lot of tips and tricks, and it's a lot of mindset work. A lot of people are like, you can't just get more time, which in one sense is true, but it's also a mindset thing. And same with money. Like a lot of people are like, I can't just get a raise, right? Especially teachers. We're like, well, I don't get my raise except for next year, right? We get a yearly raise. But there's there's lots of tips and tricks and hacks to that, and I feel like a lot of that is mindset stuff. And I actually do trainings in my Facebook community about how to get more time, how to, get more money and have a money mindset, and how to have more energy so that you can avoid burnout, right? It's not burnout comes and goes, but how do you make it so that your burnout, not having burnout is longer and your burnout lasts for a little bit less time, right? No one's immune to it, but there's definitely things you can do to prevent that, right? And there's definitely things you can do to have more time, more money, and energy. And that's what I like to talk about in my Facebook community. And I actually have a training coming up. I don't know the exact date. That reminds me, I need to put an event in, all about how to gain more time, right, in your day without having to change your sleep schedule completely. So, anywho, that's that's my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts, just on, you know, burnout and mom guilt and all of the things that we feel all the time that are like, you know what? I don't like feeling this way, right? So, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments and all the things. And feel free to hop into that community before I do that training. It'll be recorded. So even if you miss it, but I'm going to be putting the event up in there. And you guys have a fantastic day. I hope your day goes really well and is awesome. And you take the time and space and things that you need for today. All righty. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.